Hey everyone, it is Justin Tovis Vinceleon, A Happy Justin on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm here as an Ulta Beauty design team specialist and a Dyson Pro Squad stylist to share a little bit about my client Lily here and the tools I'm using, specifically being the Dyson Corral, which is the professional version of the Dyson Corral hair straightener, and the new Dyson Supersonic Pro, my favorite tool that I cannot stop talking about. So we're going to be going into using these tools, everything about the Dyson Supersonic R that I love, and we're going to be getting into this haircut that I have completed. I wouldn't say completed, but I have prepped and have almost finished. So a little bit about Lily is she is, yes, a good friend of mine, but she's also a client of mine. So we have a lot of real life salon situations that I get to share with you right now. So I'm a stylist at the salon at Ulta Beauty in Santa Monica, and I see Lily about I guess we try to do every 6 weeks, but sometimes it's like a couple months. So she's a working model. I'm a hairstylist with lots of different passions for the industry that I'm involved in. And so we're not always able to see each other for color, but we always make time for a good cut. So something about Lily is that she has fine hair. So what we're gonna be talking about today is how to do a haircut and how to style that haircut to get volume that lasts on hair that's fine. So her hair is fine, and it's not the hair type that is fine and high density. It's actually fine and medium density. So working with that hair type can sometimes be a challenge, but I want to share some of my favorite things that I do to make sure it's always looking good for her, for what she does in her career, and so that I'm also happy with my work. So first of all, before we get into the Dyson Pro tools, I'm going to talk about what we've done on the haircut so far. So what we've done so far is create a one length and also create some graduation. So after creating my one length haircut, one length perimeter, all I did was use my comb and take large condensed sections, and at natural fall, I would take the section and lift it up and use my scissors. These ones are ARC Phantoms, by the way, the 5.5 inch. But I would use these scissors just to graduate it ever so slightly and create some graduated layers. And the effect that you're seeing is it's a one length haircut, but it has a natural bevel, which gives the illusion of long layers on a bob. So her hair is fine, and she wants to grow it out. If you've seen my work, her hair was really short for the past year or so. So as we're growing it out, we have to find those little tiny points of difference that we can do with our cutting skills to really help them and help clients like Lily grow her hair out in a beautiful way so that there isn't too much of an awkward stage. So now that we're at this point here, I'm going to use the same elevation all the way around the haircut. And something that is really cool about fine hair is that it's almost like there's a less is more approach to it. So we're not working less hard, but we're working with less hair. So we need to not only honor that the hair may not be as dense and may not have as many possibilities as other hair types, but we need to also play into the strengths that we have our work mapped out for us, because her hair type is fairly easy to work with. So if Lily will turn to the right, I want to give you guys a visual here. We're trying to create a slight bevel here, and we want that bevel to be created with the cut rather than having the client feel the need to style it into a bevel. So simply all we're doing here is I'm now switching over to my ARC Symmetry, my 32 Texturizing blender, and I'm ever so slightly elevating this. Now, the trick with this graduation is you're elevating it. You can elevate it a half inch. You can elevate it a few inches. And what you want to do is keep it between 45 degrees and 0 degrees. And what that'll do is it will create almost an invisible bevel here so that the hair falls with a really nice bevel under. So that's what I'm doing here. She's been pre-dried after the cut, as you can see. And now I'm just getting rid of any lines, any weight lines that I don't want to see. Also making sure that this bevel lasts for her. And once I get the texture where I want it, we can go right into styling. Something that Lily's adopted into lately for her look is bangs. I feel like everyone knows her as like the brunette with bangs, as now before she was the blonde with long layers. And so she's switched it up quite a bit, and we're really having fun with this look. So the bangs have there's a lot that has to do with bangs to make sure that we can keep them maintained. So last time, something, like I said, salon reality, something that happened is that we cut her bangs and they looked perfect for the photo, but they were falling right below her eyebrow and they grew out in about a week, she shared with me. So we're gonna just refine them a little bit. Even though they're looking good now, we want to cut a little bit more off so that they last a little bit longer for her. So the shape's already been created. What I did was I created a triangular subsection here, and it's a diagonal forward line off the middle part on both sides. So I'm gonna map that back out, make sure that I have just the fringe and no other hairs. Clip the hair out of the way so I don't pull any new hairs into it. I have my cool Dyson clips here, engineered by Dyson. So feeling super fancy with these guys, and they work really well as well, but I'm using them just to get this hair out of the way. And just to give you some insight on how we created this rounded beveled shape, is I detangled everything to go, I pinched everything to the center where her nose is. So this is over directing the hairs at the recession line on both sides. There is over direction that's living right here. So the hair that lives here is being over directed to the center. And even though it may seem like it's not that much over direction, it creates a really nice shape, and you can see the short to long shape here. Now, what we need to do now is even out the shape. So we like it, it looks pretty, there is not a whole lot of texture, and we do want this to last more than just a week. So all I'm gonna do now is, at natural fall, go in with my blade on the skin, resting on the skin, obviously. Going in and using the teeth to just pull out a few areas that look dense. Now on the side, we want this to be a really strong shape right here, so I'm not gonna take out too much, but already I'm noticing that it is got the texture that I'm looking for, and this is how it feels when you're cutting fine hair. So we don't want to cut too much into the shape because there isn't as much hair to cut. So if we cut too much, we're gonna have too much texture. So that's it. Except for the key of this fringe, this triangular approach on a fringe, is you split the triangle and turn it into a rectangle. And now it becomes, I guess, what we would call bangs. So we have our sections that frame and cover the recession lines on both sides, but we're going to now refine this section in the center so she has something more wearable. And I'm using the same scissors, the same blenders, to create a stronger line here and take off some of that length, still pinching into the center. And hopefully, working little by little, I will reach that sweet spot where it falls right onto the brow rather than below the brow. It's pretty simple, and I do just call out that I need to make sure I'm not over blending with this hair density. So the density is on the lower side, and the hair is fine. So we kind of need to stop ourselves while we're ahead when we do stuff like this, because it's falling right at the brow. There's a little texture that needs to be removed, and I am ready to move on. So it's as simple as that. There's a time and a place for blending and texturizing, on fine hair with medium density. And for me and for Lily, that's what it looks like. So, you know, if there's higher density, we may need to blend and texturize more, but in this case, little by little is the winning mindset here, and less is absolutely more. Now, let's get into the star of the show, the Dyson Supersonic R. I'm going to use this to smooth out and further smooth out the blow dry that's already here. So I've rough dried it just to see my shape. Now I'm going to use the Dyson Supersonic R and the medium-sized Dyson thermal round brush to give my client here a little bit more bounce and a little bit more shape. Now, a little bit about this amazing tool that I cannot stop talking about. I'm always looking for a reason to use it. My favorite thing so far is that, and I'll have Lily be the guinea pig here, it goes from high heat to cold when using the cold shot so fast. So using a cold shot can sometimes feel like a chore because it's like, all right, now I gotta, you know, I gotta set the hair because they're saying to set the hair and I need to use the cold shot. So I'm all the way here in the ends and I'm like, turning on the cold shot and you're pressing down the button and it's still hot. The air is still hot and it feels like there's no end in sight. I don't feel that way with the Dyson Supersonic R. And I'm just gonna have Lily, I'm gonna have you hold your hand up, just like right here, it's over the cape. And I have this on high heat. There's 3 settings, by the way. 3 heat settings and 3 speed settings. I have them on high for both. And she's gonna feel how hot it is. And then just we'll see your reaction once it goes cold, okay? So I'm gonna hit the cold shot here, so proof that everyone can see. Hold your hand up a little higher. And then see how fast that is? It's so crazy. Now, of course, you're not gonna be able to see it or understand until you are feeling it for yourself. So if you can't wait and you can't wait to get your hands on this, there is a link that we'll be sharing that you can use to sign up if this incredible professional focused tool is not ready when you are seeing this live. There's a website on Dyson.com that you will have available to you so you can sign up and get notified when it's available to be purchased. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of fun things, but keep in mind it's coming. This tool is coming. If it's not here already, we cannot wait to get this into our hands. So that being said, I'm going to be utilizing the cold shot a lot because it really does have a wavy texture, and it is also a bit frizzy when it's left to air dry. So you can see some of it's reverting back. We have Santa Monica cold humidity, and it's reverting back, and I don't want her to be feeling this way when she's leaving my salon. So, well, my home salon, which is the salon at Ulta Beauty here in Santa Monica. So when she does come in and it's closer to the ocean, I don't want the humidity to revert the hair back. So I'm gonna be using medium heat to maintain volume. And then I'm gonna be using my cold shot heavily to set that into place so that the cuticle stays shut, even in the humidity she may be walking into. So since she's already rough dried, I'm going to work in large sections. Keep in mind, we also have the Dyson Corral coming up that I'm going to use to smooth it out a little bit more. But large sections here, and we're gonna go in with elevation. Now, at Ulta Beauty, we are a brand of brands. So we have a couple things. I used a volumizing spray. It's like a volumizing treatment. So you see that texture in here. It looks smooth, but it has a lot of texture in there. She has it built in naturally, but she also has that because of the volumizing spray. So I like to have a volumizing spray rough dried in first, then I'll go in with my round brush. So I'll give you guys a good visual right now of my blow dry technique. We are on medium heat to maintain volume, and I'm going to be using high speed to help defrizz a little bit more. Going in with elevation is so important so that I'm not plastering this section to her face. So it sounds dramatic, but it's true. If I'm holding the brush down here and pulling the root down, if I'm holding the brush down here, it's pulling the root down, and the heat is making the hair memorize that shape. So we don't want it to memorize this shape. It's gonna fall to this shape anyways. We want to encourage lift. So I'm going to maintain elevation, but I'm going to go in with elevation. Even if I have to go in and smooth out the top side, I'm still going to elevate that section. Now with this hair type, we want to use repetition and tension because of the frizz. And I'm already seeing some shine, and I'm already seeing the shape come in. So I'm going to elevate this and baby the ends a little bit more, making sure that that frizz is gone. And then roll my brush up, tap the cool shot, and I like to move it around to get the airflow to help the airflow force its way in, and then I'll get the roots down here. Something I love about the Supersonic Pro is that when you are behind the chair and your hands are getting tired, all you really have to do is turn the concentrator, and then the motion goes from this, which is a little awkward, to a beautiful this. Now I can reach under and I can reach over with ease. So this tool is perfect for ergonomic, all-day use behind the chair. So, sometimes I have a couple clients a day. Sometimes I have a lot. Like sometimes I have 10 clients in one day. So that being said, I need anything. Update these blow dryers in any way you can, because this is next level. Because I have never seen a motion so easy, and I'm using it in my videos now, using it on clients, and it's just so simple. So you can see now the shine and the beautiful volume that's in there. It's not bursting with volume, but it has a foundation of lift at the root. That's what we're looking for. Because the hair is fine, if we create too much volume, for someone like Lily, we might be creating too much of we might be, setting the trend back a few years for Lily. So I don't want to do that. So we're going to go for a sleek with a nod to a voluminous blowout. Elevation and repetition is key, and that high speed is really going to shut the cuticle down quick. I'm going to baby the ends here by twisting my brush over and over and focusing that heat right here before going in with the cold shot. Unroll the brush if you have to, and go ahead and use this tool here to get the underneath side. Sometimes I like to use the cold air at the ends. You can also see how easy it is to turn it. So I'm mid blow dry, turning it with my finger. That, you guys don't understand, I'm obsessed. And look at the shape. That shape is what I'm looking for. It may not be the shape I want her to walk out with, but if I can create an enhanced and exaggerated shape and let it cool, I know that when I brush this down, it's gonna be the exact amount of volume and the exact amount of shape. So let's do the same on the other side. We'll get through this pretty quickly. And something about the fringe too that I love is that we want the cut to create that bevel and that shape away from the face. Same as we want the cut to create this right here. So the styling should be set up for success because of your cut. Again, elevation, tension, and repetition. If you have to, write those things down, because they are the mantra of my hairstyling career, because I literally tell myself every day when I'm working behind the chair, I've told myself so many times to elevate my sections, and it's become second nature. And the reason why, and I'll tell you in a second, and then forgive me if I already said this because sometimes I repeat myself, but let me get this cold shot on here. Let me get the cold air. See that feels awkward. I'd much rather just reach under like this. Stunning. Reach over like this. Beautiful. And smooth, but voluminous. So definitely loving, you can tell I can love it too much. I love it too much. But now, this volume here, it may be a little bit too much. It may be not the volume she wants to walk out with, like a really enhanced bevel, but I will say, gravity is going to take effect immediately. So we did use the cold shot. We have some structure there, but this hair is going to fall little by little, hour by hour. So if we can build that volume in now, it's going to fall to where she wants it to be, or where we want it to be, rather than it starting off here and ending up on her face. So we want to make sure that when we blow dry, we're building the volume in so that there's no complaints, and so that the guest is walking out knowing and coming back to you knowing that this blow dry is going to last a couple days, if not more. Right? Mm-hmm. I think so. I mean, I take pride in that. And so using tools that make me feel proud of my work are just, I'd much rather use something that I know has been designed specifically for a professional like me. And working behind the chair at the salon at Ulta Beauty, it is always, you never know what's gonna, we like to say we have the largest waiting room in the industry, and it's because we do. We have so many clients walking in the door simply wanting to get a lipstick, and then they end up in our chairs, they end up being our clients, and we just never know what's gonna happen in any given day. So I want a tool that I can rely on. All right. So like I said, I'm loving what the fringe is doing. I love the polish and the smoothness I have here. So I'm going to just give it a little pinch, spray some medium cold hairspray. Let that cool. And then turn on my Dyson Corral. It's plugged in now, but now it's not. But it's all good because this is a cordless flat iron. Now, again with the heat settings, and I promise I'll let you guys go after this. I talk a lot, and Lily knows that. She's a trooper right now. I'm going to use 330 degrees. That is plenty of heat to smooth out or encourage a bevel on a blow dry like this. It's already been blow dried, it's already been heat treated. There's no need for us to use any more heat. So if your clients are using their blow dryer at 450 degrees, or sorry, their flat iron, we need to have a talk. And if you don't know where your clients are, what heat setting they're using, that's a problem. So always ask, what heat setting are you using? You know, Lily's got colored hair. We just colored it this morning, and if she's 450 degrees, it's not that we can't. It's gonna fade the color, and if she's not educated, that's on me. So she knows not to, and she knows why we're not. So now we're going to, all of our clients should. All right, last bit here before I let Lily do what she does best and model this result is just smooth out this graduation. Now you can see here where the graduation started from that little bit of elevation because it doesn't reach the bottom. That's the point of the graduation that we created earlier. And I'm just simply using my comb for control to exaggerate and almost like re-solidify that shape that I created with the blow dryer. Sometimes with frizzy, fine hair, it needs a little bit more encouragement. And being at such a low heat setting, using a hydrating conditioner, I have no problem going in with something at such low heat just to make sure the look is finished. Just a little bit, locating that point of graduation, separating it from the rest, and making sure that that has a shape that can stand out on its own, like so. See, this is why I use my comb, because it will help me control the section so that I don't straighten parts of it and then curl other parts of it. Now, it is that simple, and the common theme here with fine hair that you need volume in is that less is actually more. So we may think, let's get them as much volume as possible, but their natural hair type is going to suit their face shape most of the time. So we do need to build volume in that lasts and create a cut that has volume in it, that creates natural volume, but giving them as much volume as you can possibly think of, some people might not like that. So if I did that to Lily and I was like, here, look, you have so much volume, or I cut your layers to here, now you have hair that falls, no. There's a finesse and there's a little bit of, some technique involved in finding that sweet spot. Kind of like we were talking about with the fringe, the sweet spot where it will live right at the brow rather than below or above. Same thing with volume. So we don't want to add too much, but we want to enhance as possible. So yeah, we have smoothness and volume, which is one of the hardest things to accomplish in one thing, in one look. That made absolutely no sense. In one thing. In one complete look, shine and volume. Hard to do, but not with the Dyson Corral and the Dyson Supersonic R. So I think that's it. Some other key features of the Dyson Supersonic R. The second one that I wanted to share that I'm absolutely thrilled with is that the attachments have an FRID chip, and these chips have memory in them. So you can see the chip right here. Now, anytime I pick this concentrator up and put it on my blow dryer, it will remember the exact heat and speed settings that I used the last time I needed the concentrator. Now, why is that important? Well, if we're switching from a fine-haired client or fine-haired guest to a highly dense curly guest, and I'm gonna need my diffuser, which is packed away because I'm leaving for the airport tonight. Otherwise I'd show it. But if that was the case in the salon, I would need to take this off and grab my diffuser and put it on. And now I can rely on the fact that it's going to never go too hot or never be any type of heat speed setting that I do not want to use on curly hair. It'll speed me up behind the chair, and it's just a really cool feature that no other blow dryer has. So those are my two favorite things about the Dyson Supersonic R, among many other things that I'm obsessed with when it comes to the tool. And I cannot wait for you guys to try it. But let's reveal Lily in all of her glory. We have her beautiful blowout with volume and something that she can grow out, but also have a cool style while she grows it out. So what do you think?
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just perfect on you. And I feel like I want her to feel good about the haircut, but I also want to feel good about it myself too. So let's take a closer look at what tools we're using. And again, message me or check out Dyson Hair Pro to find the link to get signed up for notifications if this is not available yet. But if it's available, I hope you enjoy it. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys on social media.